Archimedes said, you give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, I can move the world. Well, the the place to stand is Bitcoin.
Wait a minute, everyone. Welcome to BitcoinZella, your platform for daily cryptocurrency analysis and news. Our mission is to keep it simple. BitcoinZella offers engaging information that is easy to understand. Our analysts keep their eyes on the latest news to provide valuable insights via email. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Join our community of 10,000 subscribers and experience the new edge with BitcoinZella. Subscribe now. In today's video, Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy's co-founder and executive chairman, discusses understanding Bitcoin, real estate, the meaning of money, and more. So without wasting any time, let's dive into the video.
We'll keep adding, right? I mean, we'll keep adding Bitcoin. It's like asking, if you were asking, a real estate developer in the middle of New York City, oh, you own like 8 blocks of New York City.
When
What's
do you
your
stop? Right.
When do you stop? They answered, well, we're going to buy the 9th block here when we can put together the financing, and then the 10th. And if you said, well, when are you going to divest from New York City? The answer is, if you talk to New Yorkers, there's nowhere better than New York City. So they're going to keep building. And when they can't build out, they're going to build up, right? And, it's like, well, I wanted to buy another 18 blocks, but I can't. So I rezoned the blocks I own, and I'm going to replace a 20-story building with a 100-story building. And there's Hudson Yards for you, or whatever it might be. MicroStrategy is going to keep developing its Bitcoin position. And it's going to get exponentially harder, right? This last week, you saw Block announce that they're going to start buying Bitcoin every month. You've seen a accretion of Bitcoin by a lot of Bitcoin miners. A lot of them are actually not selling as much Bitcoin as they're mining now. I think you're going to see more Bitcoin miners buying more. I think you're going to see more Bitcoin exchanges buying more. I think you see the existing ETFs accumulating, but now we're up to 22 spot ETFs in the world, and they're all in a marketing war with each other, and so they're going to go harder. So I think, and at some point, you're going to see these Russell 1000 companies, right? Which one of them wants to crawl out of their zombie state? It's like, you're just waiting for someone to decide they want the money. So I think that when they do that, they drive up the price of Bitcoin, and I have to chase it. My first Bitcoins were below 10,000, and I'm buying Bitcoin in the 60s now, and that's okay. I don't know where we'll get to. I know we'll get more. We'll accrete from here. We will acquire more Bitcoin than we have right now, and we'll do it via organic cash and via debt, especially convertible debt, and we'll do it via equity. And that'll be a function of capital markets and all sorts of other dynamics. But I think, Archimedes said, you give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, I can move the world. Well, the place to stand is Bitcoin.
Bitcoin saw a recent upsurge that pushed its price above the $67,000 mark after threatening to go below $60,000 in the last couple of weeks. This resilient market outlook may have prompted MicroStrategy's founder Michael Saylor to reiterate his bullish stance on the crypto asset. On the X app, Saylor shared a picture of 2 black dice with a lit Bitcoin logo engraved in each of them. He captioned the image, "Bet on Bitcoin." For almost 4 years, Saylor has led MicroStrategy to acquire a huge holding in Bitcoin, not discouraged by the price of the coin at any time. His adoption of a Bitcoin strategy for the business intelligence and software company has equally translated to massive profits. This is considering the current price of BTC and the price at the time of purchase. By his recent phrase on X, Saylor could be calling on investors to plunge their funds into BTC or possibly adopt a strategy similar to that of his firm. His affinity towards the flagship cryptocurrency remained hinged on the heightened engagement or the enormous profit that MicroStrategy has bagged since it adopted the Bitcoin strategy. Last month, Saylor earned $400 million from pre-planned daily sales of the enterprise software company's shares. His bullish BTC stance is significantly reflected in the volume of BTC that MicroStrategy holds. After buying 122 Bitcoin for $7.8 million in April, CoinGate capped the firm's total Bitcoin holding at 214,000 Bitcoin. Even with this large holding, the firm has not said anything about selling the Bitcoin. Saylor took his Bitcoin advocacy a step further recently when he dubbed Ethereum as security, supporting Gary Gensler's insistent categorization of the crypto asset. His comment on Ethereum came on May 2, while he was speaking at the MicroStrategy World 2024 conference. The MicroStrategy founder implied Bitcoin supremacy by condemning the likelihood of approval from the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, over spot Ethereum ETF offering.
Right? I mean, it's not a commodity, it's a scarcity. So if it's a scarcity, it's like if I said to you, there's one city, it's at a trade crossroads of the world. It's the center of the digital economy. One day, everybody on the planet's going to be moving their capital through that city, but there's only 276 by 276 by 276 blocks in that city. And by the way, it's like 94% occupied, but you can buy another one of those blocks if you want. Do you want to buy some more? And the answer is, yeah, I want to keep buying, because just like if I could have bought New York or Manhattan 100 years ago, or 50, or 200, or 30, or 300, tell me, at what year, how many years ago was it a bad idea, right? I think it's always been a good idea. If you can hold, right? As long as you can hold the property. And why is Manhattan a good idea? Because it's a granite island at the middle of Long Island Sound and the Hudson, and it's got great natural harbors. It's the gateway to North America. It was always the best place to put a port, right? And if you look at it and you cruise around it and you stare at it and you look at the fact you can build that on top of that schist, it's obvious people are going to want to live in and do business in that city for hundreds of years.
Spot Bitcoin ETF have become a key part of the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem in just 4 months after they went live on U.S. financial markets. However, Bloomberg's ETF specialist, Eric Balchunas, explained that people should not get too carried away when they see notable changes in the short-term flows. These products were finally greenlighted by the US SEC in mid-January and caused mayhem when they launched, leading to enhanced volatility but also a new all-time high for BTC's price in just 2 months. This transpired when the ETF, aside from Grayscale's GBTC, were attracting impressive inflows. However, the trend started to change on a few occasions in March, but especially in late April and early May. In fact, there's a negative 7-day streak from April 24 to May 2, when the outflows skyrocketed to over $1.2 billion. Expectedly, Bitcoin's price suffered during this period, dropping to a multi-month low of under $57,000. Yet those dark days also passed, and the ETF started attracting huge inflows in the past week or so. Moreover, Eric Balchunas asserted that the May inflows of $1.3 billion had covered all the losses seen in April, which is perhaps why BTC's price has shot up by around $10,000 and currently sits at $67,000. As such, Balchunas warned people to leave emotions at the door, as these inflows and outflows are just a part of ETF life. He believes they will become net positive in the long term, which seems to be the case now with over $12 billion already poured in. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Seller. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.